So now you're losing weight. There's just one problem. You're hungry all of the time. Your energy levels, they don't exist. You can't focus on one thing because you're always thinking about the next meal, and while the scale went down a few pounds, you're left wondering, am I going to keep doing this? Okay, so that's 4 problems. But here's the good news. If you can solve the problem of hunger, you can fix the others. The vast majority of people believe that satisfying hunger is achieved simply by, number 1, eating more calories. Number 2, eating more fat, but oh wait, my doctor told me that eating fat causes heart disease and cancer. So I would be an idiot to do that, right? Number 3, not exercising, because if I don't waste energy exercising, then I won't be as hungry. It's simple math, really. Number 4, eating more protein and fiber, because everybody knows that eating protein and fiber keeps you full. We are so focused on doing what everyone else is doing because to do what everyone else is doing is familiar. We won't feel alone. There is no risk of looking foolish. And so the very thought of asking if this information is even correct never enters our mind. As a society, we have overlooked a very important question that may very well serve up the answer to which we have been searching. And that question is, how did we get here in the first place? Over the last 400 years, the human race has given rise to a new type of food that, number 1, has a much longer shelf life and can resist spoilage, and number 2, a type of food that can be digested and absorbed much faster than anything seen before it. The type of food that I am referring to is refined carbohydrates. Now, 400 years sounds like a really long time, but it took us humans 1.5 million years to evolve into what we are today. We hunted our food in the form of fatty meats. We gathered our fruits and vegetables with a large percentage of carbohydrates coming in the form of fiber. We adapted, we survived, we evolved, we flourished. So what gives? If I went back in time and gave one of the earlier humans an Oreo, there is no question that human would die. Well, no, they wouldn't die, but they would get very sick. And sure, you may not be eating Oreos, but if you think those packaged foods that are stamped organic and non-GMO are guaranteed to be good for you, think again. What am I getting at here? We have simplified nutrition to the extent that if you can count, you can be healthy and lose weight. This isn't a calorie game. This is a hormone game. When it comes to satisfying hunger, it's not about eating food that is high volume and low calorie. It's about understanding which foods promote hormones that cause satiety. When it comes to preventing disease, it's not about suffocating the symptoms. It's about preventing them by correcting the dysfunction of energy metabolism, meaning how your body uses and stores that energy. Today, the human body is being flooded with both unrefined and refined carbohydrates. The pancreas is being taxed beyond what it can handle, which is causing the dysfunction of insulin and leptin, the 2 hormones at the forefront of energy metabolism. And what's worse is that we are being encouraged to do so by trusted organizations and physicians who, number 1, either are unaware or choose to ignore the indisputable research-based evidence that point to excessive carbohydrate consumption as a massive metabolic problem. Number 2, organizations and physicians who are so terrified to have been wrong about dietary fat all of these years, and to admit it now would be professional suicide, also known as cognitive dissonance. It's much easier to do and say what all of your colleagues are because in the eyes of some, to conform is to ensure security. Number 3, organizations and physicians who have vesting interest in keeping their status quo, our status quo, because if they didn't, it would greatly affect their bottom line. This can all be a conversation for another time. What's most important right now is that you need to take care of you. If you can be more insulin sensitive and restore the functioning of your leptin signaling, which we will go through in depth in my course, if you can utilize fat storage as your primary source of fuel to create ketones, then not only are your goals in reach, but so is the recovery of your health. Re-establishing a mainline connection to the very fat tissue you are trying to rid will result in a higher state of well-being and health. Hunger will be controlled, potent energy will be harnessed, disease will be prevented, deep focus will be achieved, fat will be lost. In my next free web series video, I'm going to talk about how dietary fat may not actually be the villain in this story, and that dietary carbohydrate may be the reason for cancer and heart disease. If you've heard enough from me and want to change your life right now, click the button below to learn more about my course, Ketosis the Right Way. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.